Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about flipping luxury watches. I've gotten quite a few comments both on Instagram and on the YouTube channel regarding flipping luxury watches. So I thought, why not go ahead and make a video, give you guys my top 5 things I recommend you do if you're interested in flipping luxury watches. Number 1, join a watch forum. And the reason I say join a watch forum is you'll need to do your R&D. I used the watch forums in the beginning when I started buying watches as a way to learn about the different brands of watches. Instead of me going to every brand's website, I would basically go into the watch forum. I joined up as a member, and they had all the information on pretty much all of your major brands there in the watch forum. So it was easy for me to maneuver around and research one watch and then go research another one till I got a good understanding of the types of watches I wanted to purchase. And for me, that was Breitling, Omega, Rolex, Panerai, IWC, brands like that. Watch forum was really instrumental in me being able to research and find out exactly the specific types of watches I wanted, number one, to purchase, because first and foremost, I was a watch enthusiast and it was a huge hobby of mine. Secondly, I knew at some point I would want to start flipping watches to earn an additional stream of income. So that R&D I was able to do through the watch forums certainly paid off for me. The second thing that I recommend you do is decide on a budget when it comes to selling your first watch or buying your first watch to resell. The thing you want to understand is watch flipping is a hard business to get into. It takes a lot of experience, a lot of research, be able to buy the watches at the right price. But what I did was I decided, okay, I got $1,000 that I'm going to devote to buying my first watch. Now that $1,000 is a lot of money, but understand I had already been doing real estate prior to getting into luxury watch sales. I had accumulated some money. I had put away a little bit of nest egg, and out of that money, I decided to take $1,000. And I said, you know something? Worst case scenario, I'm gonna lose that $1,000. Again, guys, $1,000 is a lot of money, but I had to start somewhere, and my budget was $1,000. I went back to the watch forums and started doing my research on, well, what's the best watch that I can buy for under $1,000 and then still be able to turn around and market it online and hopefully make a profit. And for me, that was a Tag Heuer. Now, I can't remember the specific model of Tag, but I do remember if the brand was Tag Heuer. So I bought the watch for $1,000, and I turned around and I put it up for sale for $1,200. Lo and behold, the watch sold. I agreed on a price with someone for $1,100, and I had made $100 on my first watch flip. The third thing you're gonna need to figure out is how to buy these watches at a deep enough discount in order to be able to remarket them online and make a profit. I went back to the watch forums and I said, okay, let me go into the for sale forum. And some forums call it classifieds, but so I went in there to figure out, okay, how are these people pricing these watches, number one? What are they pricing them at? And let's go back to my same watch that I talked about earlier in the video, that Tag Heuer. So before I purchased that Tag, I said, well, let me go out here and see what the retail on these watches are. And I could go out and I found 7 or 8 different sellers selling that same watch for roughly the same price. That's your retail, gray market retail price there. Now I got to go out and figure out how do I pay less than that for it. So from that standpoint, then I started going outside of the watch forums and going on eBay and going to local estate shops here in my hometown to try to figure out, can I purchase this watch at a deep enough discount that I can still go back and be within that gray market retail price of $1,200 to $1,400. So I found that Tag Heuer actually on eBay, and I found the watch for $1,000. So that's what I paid, and then I marked it up, and like I said earlier in the video, I made $100. I sold it for $1,100. Now that wasn't a lot of money, guys, but for me, just getting into flipping watches, it was huge. It taught me and showed me that if I just put in the work, then I could be in a position where I could probably do 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 of these a month and really make some good additional income from flipping watches. You got to be able to source the watch and buy it at a deep enough discount in order for it to make sense. And I've given you a couple of resources. Again, back to the watch forums, R&D there, figure out what they're selling for on the watch forums. And then you can go out to other sites like eBay and Amazon, Chrono24, find out what they're selling for. And then you'll get a good understanding of what the market says that watch is worth from a retail standpoint. And then you just got to go out and find the watch and buy it at the price below that, and then remarket it for sale. Number 4, you're going to have to figure out, okay, what venues do I want to resell my watch on? So once you have bought the watch, you got it at a deep discount, now you got to figure out, okay, how do I resell it? You want to take clear, precise photos. You also want to be able to write a really good description of the watch, telling people, okay, this is what you get, this is the kind of condition it's in. If you know the service history of it, tell them a little bit about the service history. You want to give people all the information you have up front. That way, you know, you've been full disclosure. That's my recommendation for you. So now once you do photos, you write a good description, now you're ready to take that watch and put it online for sale. Now again, like I've talked about earlier in the video, you're gonna use places like eBay, the watch forums, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, even maybe your YouTube channel. So those are all places that you're going to market your watch for sale. At least that's what I do. And I found that, you know, sometimes I underestimate the power of the internet. You know, there are people all around the world looking for different things. So there's somebody out there that's looking for that watch that you're trying to remarket. You just got to be in enough places and with enough eyeballs on it for those people to find you. And number 5, this is probably the most critical one of the 5 we just talked about: insurance and shipping. Now that's where you got to really be careful, guys, because you could have went through the first 4 steps and you've sold the watch, you've collected your money, and then you gotta ship it to its new owner. Now sometimes you can do a face-to-face transaction. You as a seller and the buyer agree to that, and you want to do a face-to-face, you certainly can do that. But I would say in my experience, at least for me, 99.9% of the time, I'm collecting money, and I'm collecting money a couple different ways. PayPal for eBay sales, and then bank wire transfer only for all other sales. So once I collect my money, now I got to figure out, okay, how do I ship this watch to its new owner? So I'll use I'll use UPS, I'll use FedEx, I'll use USPS, whichever one makes the most sense. I'll use one of those 3 shipping services. Now you can also have insurance done. Some of these shipping services do offer insurance where you can insure the watch up to a certain dollar amount, or you can go out and get external insurance through Parcel Pro. Once I settle on that, I package the watch up really nice, really neat, make sure it's secure. I don't put any fancy markings on it. Plain Jane wrapping. I don't want any attention to be drawn to it as it's in transit. And then I take it. I always do my own prepaid shipping address label, and I stick it on, and all I got to do then is just take it to the venue where I'm shipping it at. They'll scan it for me, give me a receipt, and then I'm out of there. Next day, that watch is going to be to its new owner's hands. So that's what I do with insurance and shipping. Guys, I'm telling, that's a critical piece. Don't mess around with that. Make sure you have insurance on that watch, either through some of the things I talked about, Parcel Pro and other companies like that. So guys, those are the top 5 things that I would tell you to consider if you're planning on getting into the luxury watch flipping business as an additional stream of income. I hope the information was helpful. It's hard to, take you from A to Z in 10 minutes on a video. It's a lot that goes into it, but I've tried to give you the 5 things that I think are the most important things to know. If it was helpful, consider giving me a thumbs up. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing. And I would ask that you share the video. But as always, guys, keep chasing greatness. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.